We'd like to welcome Mr. Vice President for Corporate Sales, Ola Cabs. Can we clap and welcome everyone? Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome a man all the way from Bollywood. It's been inspiring us for so many years, entertaining us. Really, really honored to have his dynamic presence here with us today, Mr. Sunil Shetty. It's now time to welcome the lovely lady amongst us, who's been a great inspiration to every woman, every youth in the Bollywood industry for so many years. Let's welcome the beautiful, the gracious. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to welcome our delegates without whose kind support today's day was just not even imaginable. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome Mr. Gautam Chatterjee, Chief Secretary, Transport, to please come forward. So just before we proceed further, I'm sure all of us have many questions about today's day, and we'll assure you, before you exit this beautiful venue today, you're going to be much happier road users, and we assure you, whether you're behind the wheel or whether you're just on the road, today's day is going to really, really make things a little different for all of us. We'd like to now welcome on stage Miss Sheila Sale, DCP, Crime Against Women's Cell. Can we clap and welcome her? It's a real honor to have her here. So ladies and gentlemen, all of these good folks here today are partners in this project, which is conceived, launched jointly by BBC Top Gear India, the Mumbai Traffic Police, the Ministry of Road Transport, MEP, Ola Cabs, and driven by Tata Motors. So what exactly is street smart, street safe? I'm going to ask you a very simple question. How many of you got stuck in traffic while coming to London today? Anybody who got stuck in traffic? And I don't know about all of you, but I did when I was driving here, and I know it's quite, as a user, gets quite irritative at times. So yes, today's day, it's mostly about setting the things right on roads. I'm sure when I say setting the things right on roads, this line itself, it's getting a smile on her face. But yes, these people sitting here today are going to make this really clear, easier for all of us. Because after a very dipstick survey conducted by Top Gear India and the Mumbai Traffic Police, any order, whether it's for concern about a woman's safety on roads, whether it's jaywalking, whether it's a lack of awareness when we are on road about the rules, or of course, the noise that we actually hear on roads at times. So yes, these bunch of people here, they've done a brainstorming, beautiful strategy that's street smart, street safe, such a beautiful campaign. A proper 360-degree approach to road use. So talk a little more about it. I'd like to call the man himself. Put your hands together and welcome Mr. Deepak Lamba, everyone.
Good afternoon, everybody. And at the outset, I'd like to thank you all for taking your valuable time out and being with us this afternoon for a cause that's, I think, very close to every Mumbaiker and every Indian. So thank you for your participation in this unique venture. BBC Top Gear India is typically known for, and we are one of the most popular brands across the world for showcasing the fastest cars, the snazziest cars, for cars that have the ability to go to 0 to 100 in 6 seconds or less, etc. But few know the fact that we are also equally committed to road safety, and especially more so in India, which unfortunately holds the dubious distinction for the highest amount of road-related incidents and deaths. So with Street Smart, Street Safe, it's a joint initiative that we've done with the Mumbai Traffic Police Department and the Ministry of Transport and Highways, Road Transport and Highways. We hope to do our own bit in addressing this long-standing and distressing problem. Street Smart, Street Safe will involve us all, from road users to law enforcers to even school children, to kickstart the process of trying to make our roads safer and more pleasant places to be on. It kicks off today, and once it gains momentum, it will also tackle issues like noise pollution, irresponsible road driving, jaywalking, amongst other issues. And whilst we admit that it will not be easy to create and sustain awareness because of the current awareness and education levels in Mumbai and in India are quite low as we see with the regular reportage of untoward incidents. We, along with the Mumbai Traffic Police, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, MSRDC, the Transport Department, and our committed partners, MEP, Tata Motors, and Ola, promise you that we are in this for the long haul and that we will try and do everything that is in our collective grasp to make this, to make Indian roads a better place to be. Of course, a very big thank you to Mr. Sunil Shetty and Ms. Mandira Bedi for taking their valuable time out to grace this occasion and support this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'd now like to invite Mr. Gautam Chatterjee, Chief Secretary of our Transport, to please share a few words with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, guys and friends, let me at the outset congratulate the organizers for this great initiative. This is one point which have been prime in all our minds, and as lately prepared for the show, started off the show with asking whether any one of us could avoid the traffic or did we face traffic jams. For a change, in fact, just now Sunil was saying that today, surprisingly, we didn't have any traffic jam, so all of us reached here before time. But be it that is may, the point remains that all of us do crib about inadequate road infrastructure, inadequate parking spaces. The main man needs to be here. Milind, I think you should come here. This initiative is not complete unless traffic police is with us. Statistically, out of 2.5 crore vehicles that are there in Maharashtra today, 10% of that, around 25 lakhs, are there lying in Mumbai. Road width are not adequate and sufficient to cater to this sort of a vehicle load. They get added every year with new registrations coming in. The other frightening part of this is that we have about 61,000 accidents per year in Maharashtra, which brings it to 5,000 per month. of which 1,000 per month die in road fatalities. Now, these are facts which are very difficult to actually live with, and these are not certainly not sustainable type of statistical figures, and we need to improve upon them. We every year have a 1-week road safety week which is followed sometime in January. Maharashtra took the initiative to say that no, we should actually extend it to a fortnight. And this year's logo was that road safety should be a way of life and not only a mere campaign. But in spite of that, we have felt that there is need for more and more stakeholders joining in hands to see that we can make our roads safer for all of us. So this initiative, certainly we will lend hand in our initiative to take this issue forward. We need to bring in the young, the impressionable age, the school children into this initiative, and I'm sure that would also be a part of this initiative. So the support from the government side would certainly be there. Whatever needs to be done from our side will certainly not be found lacking in there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chatterjee. I'd now like to request Mr. Deepak and Mr. Girish to please honor and welcome Mr. Milind, who's here with us. Can you clap for him, everybody? It's a real honor that he's here with us today.
ये तो चाहिए ना कमिश्नर का एक शब्द चलेगा माझा पे चलेगा ना मराठी हिंदी पे नहीं चलेगा मराठी पे चलेगा
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Milind,
कैसा दे रहा है कैमरा किधर लगेगा
Thank you so much.
एक बड़ी 5-6 जन का ग्रुप आगे बैठ रहा
I now
अच्छा वो भी
request
साथ में बैठ गई
Ms. Sheila to please share a few words with us. Thank you.
चल भाई इसका लेना पड़ेगा इसके साथ में रखो इसके साथ ये
Thank you very much.
कम दिख रहा है मुझको ऐसे आंखें
Distinguished dignitaries and all my friends, I am DCP Sheila Sale, looking after Crime Against Women Cell, which is newly set up. There are many initiatives taken by Mumbai Police for women's safety. We have helpline numbers 103, we have 9969 777 888 number. With the help of this, we can any lady who need any help or she is in any unsafe condition, she can call that number or send SMS on that number. And on this occasion, I come to know that there is new app which you can download, and there is one emergency number also. You can send messages to your 3 contact persons. So with this Street Smart, Street Safe initiative and campaign, Mumbai Police is always supportive for this noble cause, and I'm very much thankful that you have invited here me for interaction and for if any issue in this regarding women related safety, then we can further talk about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sheila. Really honored to have you here with us. I'll now request Mr. Milind Viralbollywood, Joint Commissioner, Traffic, to share a few words with us.
Thanks. Respected guests, and my dear friends, as Joint Commissioner of Traffic in Mumbai, and in rainy season is definitely a hell of a job. I'm sure you all agree with me on this. But with MCGM trying to build and develop the infrastructure as good as possible, with Mr. Chatterjee and his team working on the transport facilities across the city, and with the transport minister also working on sir, I hope you must have told about the local act that is being made, the motor vehicles, that is also under preparation. With all those three things, I am sure the load on Mumbai traffic police is definitely going to reduce. Because the better the infrastructure, the better the licensing policies, the permit conditions, and the stronger the law, it is very easier for traffic police to enforce these things for the citizenry of Mumbai. But it's the endeavor of Mumbai traffic police to facilitate and regulate the traffic of Mumbai, wherein I must, without juggling into the statistics, brief statistics are roughly 25 lakh vehicles ply on the roads of Mumbai city every day, and roughly 3-4 lakh add on to that from the suburban areas. So that's a huge, roughly around 30 lakh vehicles plying on the roads of Mumbai. And we a small force of 3,500 are manning the whole of Mumbai city. Of course, traffic is a very dynamic thing. It's a real-time thing. Unlike the MCGM or the transport, which make foundational changes, and then they look for certain improvements. But then traffic is a real-time thing. One block somewhere, one accident somewhere, one failure of vehicle somewhere, and the roads blocked for kilometers and kilometers. So to tackle all these things, Mumbai Traffic Police has always been striving to facilitate better traffic conditions for the citizens of Mumbai and the motorists of Mumbai. I have taken over as Mumbai Traffic Chief in the last 2 months, and we have taken up quite a few initiatives which I would just like to enumerate for the audience. We would shortly be starting the electronic challan system. This electronic challan system will actually do away with all the money collection, all the cash collection by the traffic police constables on the field. So the major complaint of some citizens that this constable takes 100 rupee extra, that would surely be gone. That I guess it should be a quarter, 3-4 months when it should be fully implemented. So you would not see any traffic constable collecting any cash unless you insist. Second, a very important thing is the variable messaging systems. I am sure you must have seen these electronic boards across the city, though they are very few in number. They are hardly 40-50 in number. But you will see the city flooded with these variable messaging systems. There would be at least 200 variable messaging systems across the city, which will guide the motorists about the prevailing traffic situations that he is concerned with while driving. So apart from that, the weather conditions and the disaster management, other things would all be communicated to the motorists and the users of road through this variable messaging system. We are also starting a new concept of traffic wardens with the help of the community. The traffic wardens, as I told you, for a 1.5 crore population and 30 lakh vehicles plying on the city of Mumbai, on the roads of Mumbai, and a force of 3,500 is too meager to really provide the best of facilitation. So we would be initiating this concept of traffic wardens, wherein the civilians would be joining in the traffic police to help regulate the traffic. We are expecting this figure to go roughly as much as the strength of the traffic police, that is 3,000 to 4,000 in almost a year or so. So you would see more number of people on the roads who would be regulating the traffic. This initiative would be coming up through the community participation and the corporate social responsibility. Apart from that, there has always been a demand that we don't have a helpline. So shortly we are planning to launch. The background work is already on. Mumbai Traffic Police will have its own helpline. That helpline won't be just an SOS kind of thing, but it would be a complete system wherein you would also be provided the road guidance from A point to B point. Apart from that, including the multimodal transportation systems that would be incorporated into that. Apart from that, we would also provide the traffic situations and the traffic related data. So any person who is stepping onto the roads can call that helpline for any of these kind of information. So we would be glad to provide that kind of information. Apart from that, we will have our own multimedia center, wherein we would like to engage all the road users on different fora regarding providing traffic situations and traffic conditions across the city and beyond. Another point is generally if you are owning a high-end sedan, you are most unlikely to get towed away. But Mumbai Traffic will shortly be hiring very modern hydraulic cranes. So whichever sedan you own in Mumbai, you are likely to get towed away. Then we would be focusing on the high-end cars as well. And of course, with the help of MCGM and transport, we would be starting a crash analysis center where we would be analyzing each and every smallest of accidents and better the traffic conditions so that we enter less into these kind of crashes, and we try to make Mumbai as free of crashes as possible. I'm sure I must appreciate the efforts of Top Gear and the whole team for taking this initiative of spreading awareness. Mumbai Traffic Police also keeps on spreading this kind of awareness through education and very many different campaigns that it does on its own, and partners with such initiatives as is the Top Gear. I'm sure Top Gear would be successful or rather we would be successful along with Top Gear in drilling into the minds and heads of people to obey traffic laws, and we sure will be able to create a good traffic culture in Mumbai, which would be a pride of everybody. Thanks for calling me here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vijay. Your thoughts have already brought a smile on everybody's face. Thank you so much. I'd now like to request Mr. Jayant Maiskar, Managing Director, MEP, to please share a few words with us.
Dignitaries on the dais and my friends from India. I think the initiative what Top Gear has taken on the Street Smart, Street Safe is a very good initiative, I believe, which is going to be helpful for one and all citizens of Mumbai. More responsible and look after a certain set of flyovers in the city of Mumbai. Apart from the tolling which we do, I think tolling is always discussed, the maintenance is never. Having said that, as Bharat Desai has already said that he is already coming out with various aspects in improving the quality of driving and also the safety of people traveling in Mumbai. I really applaud that and congratulate him on that particular aspect. As a citizen of Mumbai, what we always face is a big traffic jam at most of the signals. So as he rightly pointed out, if we have an advanced traffic management system which will which will enable me as a user to plan my journey from point A to point B, that will be something which will be really, I would say, required and useful for the commuters. As far as safety is concerned, I think what really is very important, which also needs to be looked into, is the social responsibility of the users rather than the enforcement authorities. Because if the users of the facility are more responsible in terms of driving and maneuvering their vehicles in the city or on the national highways, I think the percentage of enforcement and the accidents would definitely reduce. The classic example, if I can collate, is one of the expressways where because of the quality of the riding surface, the number of accidents tend to go high because of the, I would say, user indiscipline, which needs to be improved. So apart from enforcement, I think even if the inbuilt or in-house care is taken by the users, that they follow certain traffic rules and follow traffic, I would say, speed regulations, that is definitely going to help the cause and reduce the number of accidents, which will definitely lead into a safer and smarter Mumbai to live in. I once again thank the organizers for having us all here and wish them all the luck for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. And now request Mr. Amit Sagar, National Sales Head, Passenger Car Unit, Tata Motors, to please share a few words with us.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Top Gear, and thank you for taking this initiative and organizing all this and calling us together here. I think in Tata Motors, on road safety part, we're playing a very crucial role, because all our products today, not only do they meet the Indian safety regulations, but the product that you see here, which is the Bolt, it actually exceeds it, both in terms of active safety as well as passive safety. It's got a lot of stuff hidden inside the bonnet and the carriage to take care of passenger and the coach and the driver safety as well. The other thing that we are working very closely on is the pedestrian safety. So what happens when you collide with a pedestrian? Does that safety also take care of? Yes. So the way we design the exteriors, the bumpers, the more sharp edges, etc., make sure that we play our part in that as well. Apart from that, we are also doing a lot of training of drivers on safety. We are partnering with cab providers, Ola, Uber, and many others to train drivers on safety. So we're doing a lot of work on safety, and we're extremely proud to be here, working with all of them and making sure that the roads are safer to be in. Thank you so much, and I wish all of us the best.
Thank you, Mr. Amit. I now request Mr. Arvind Singhatia, Vice President for Corporate Affairs, Ola Cabs, to share a few words with us.
Thank you so much. It's a privileged moment for me to speak with the senior dignitaries from government and corporate friends. Ola Cabs was started by a few young chaps from IIT Mumbai 4 years back. We now, if I talk about today, we are driving more than 3 lakh people across the country every day in our cabs. All the more, it's a huge responsibility on our heads now that, driving 3 lakh people across the country, we should be much more concerned about their safety. Ola Cabs, for us, safety is the topmost priority for us. We prefer that, whenever people are not in a situation, typically when, we have tied up with clubs, late night clubs where people are not able to drive their personal car, we definitely want them to take a car driven by a professional driver, and there we come in picture. We have a mobile application which is easily available on your mobile phone, helping you to reach on time and safely. To be a part of this initiative, Ola Cabs would like to ensure that we are dedicated to safety and security of passengers on the road, and more than 2 lakh drivers are associated with us who are committed drivers, professionally trained. We are doing training with Tata Motors, we are doing training with Maruti to help our drivers learn the professional driving skills. It's a matter of great privilege to be a part of this initiative. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rahim. I now request Mr. Sunil Shetty to please share a few words with us.
Very, very good evening. I think a lot has been said already, so what I can say is it's an honor and an absolute privilege to be a part of this initiative, because, a campaign begins with a good team, but generally not necessarily ends with great results. But I think the team that is on the dais is a team that should see this initiative successfully through. People who matter, people who want to make that difference. And of course, Mr. Millen. Mr. Millen said a lot. I've interacted with him before, and I know he's a man that keeps his words. When he started saying about, when he started mentioning that big cars would also be told, it set a fear in my heart because I know he's going to do what he says. So I will follow the rules. I try to follow the rules most of the time. Rather, definitely do follow the rules. But I think this initiative is already working because all along when we drove, we didn't get traffic coming here. So I believe that the initiative has already started working. The campaign is already moving. Like Mr. Karkera said, the financial health of a city or a nation depends a lot on its roads and its safety. So I think all of us being involved, especially the media, and is extremely important to get the message through. Street smart we are, but when it comes to breaking rules and doing the wrong things rather, I think we should channelize this energy in the right way, believe in the initiative, follow the initiative. And street safety need to be, the apps that are being introduced, the no honking zones that are being set up, all this will make a big difference for us to make Mumbai a safer place and a better place to live. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'll now request Ms. Mandira Bedi to please share a few words with us.
Thank you so much for making me the absolute last. But there is still something left to be said. I have to say I'm very, very impressed with this initiative from the Mumbai Traffic Police and Top Gear. Street smart, street safe. There are actually many aspects to it, and I think this first one of decongesting Mumbai, encouraging carpooling. When I was in school, all through my schooling years, it was 4 kids and me, and we all traveled together to school, and that just means 4 less cars on the road. That apart, there's traffic angels where volunteers come forward and make sure that no jaywalkers, then pedestrians are not just protected but are also made responsible. Lots of lovely aspects, and I think the one that is the most interesting is especially for a woman, is the launch of the mobile app. All of us have been affected badly by traffic often in the city, so there is of course Google Maps that shows you the kind of traffic there is in various parts of the city. You get live Twitter feeds as well. But the best thing about that app is a woman can send an emergency alert to 3 of her contacts in case of an emergency, along with the last location that has been recorded by that app. So I think that is very, very useful for women. And there is also going to be a women's safety drive that is going to be flagged off on 8th of July, which I'm going to be a part of. And that will be spreading awareness for this very app. The app is also called Street Smart, Street Safe. And I think they've done very well to choose a very responsible and concerned citizen like Mr. Sunil Shetty as brand ambassador. So I think it's an amazing initiative, and I'm very happy to be here today. And I think the next 3 weeks there's going to be a lot of awareness and a lot of wonderful initiatives being spread through this campaign. Thank you.
Mr. Girish, editor Top Gear India, to share a few words with us.
The good news is I am the last one. Thank you everyone for being here. First of all, a big thank you to everyone who's on the dais. These are very busy people, and full marks to my team for managing to get all of them here at one time. Top Gear came to India around 10 years ago, 10 years to be precise, and I don't see any better way of celebrating it than by giving something back to the society. We've always been known for writing about cars in a manner that is quite fun and easy to understand. But I guess we have to do more. one of the biggest occupational hazards that we face as automobile journalists when we drive or ride a bike is poorly driving people. On traffic can be a mess, and what I have learned through all my years of driving is patience also. Try to be patient, which I know is very difficult at the end of a 2-hour traffic infested ride. But the fact that we are doing this, as you can see, there are a lot of initiatives we are doing over a period of time. It's not a one-day event because there's nothing you can do in a day. We have a lot of work to do. So we've spread it over 3 weeks, including involving children because they are the ones who are going to drive eventually on the roads. And we can start working right now. Maybe in the future, the next generation will have a better place to drive on. One thing I would like to say is that if you want to make a difference, all of us have to work towards it. It's not one person's job. I know it's very easy when you reach a traffic signal and there is a jam and you say, "Arey, traffic वालों को कुछ नहीं आता, signal ठीक नहीं है." But there is something we can also do. It is not just the traffic constable's job to make sure that everything is working like clockwork. It's our job as well as motorists to make sure that we follow the rules, stop before the zebra crossing, make sure that we are not blocking someone's right of way, and even if we are crossing the road, to make sure that we are not crossing when the signal is green for the motorists. So it's a holistic approach that we need. Through this initiative, that is the idea. This alone will not solve Bombay's problems, but I am sure that it will give us a start and a good start with all of these guys sitting over here, and we can make a difference. Let us start now because nobody else is going to help us. We have to help ourselves. So let us do this, and I wish and I thank everyone for the support that they are giving us, and hopefully after Bombay we'll be able to take this to other places as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Girish. And I think we all are actually rest assured now with your thoughts that the coming 3 weeks are going to bring about a tremendous change in Mumbai's traffic and the road safety. So yes, we'd like to really thank our media friends who are here.
Thank you.
It's now time to go ahead with the Q&A, the question and answers. So you can raise your hand and the mic will be right there for your question. You can begin.
ले लो भाई, ऐसे ही ले लो, इधर ही ले लो, सबके पास बूम है, ऑडियो लगा हुआ है.
I think we can also do this one-on-one if, I don't know if you want. If there are any questions, you are free to ask. If you want, we can also do a one-on-one. There is a question. So might be alright.
चालू है. चालू है. इसको पूछिए.
Well, the app is already live. We have been testing it. Okay, fine. We will share the
भाई बोला अपने तो भाई उनको तो आउट ही कर दिए, टीवी में डाल दिए. हेड बना दिया. ठीक है.
It's usable. We will test it. And we will share with you. Someone can share later if you can share the. The app is essentially it's a one-stop shop. Shows you, it's not just for live updates like a Google Map. It gives you a lot of help. It gives you helpline numbers. Anyone can send an emergency message. Any lady can send an emergency message to someone in the family, and it's a very easy way of doing it. Just a tap on the touchscreen. That's all. So, and it's very quick. It doesn't take a whole lot of data. Very easy to operate and very easy to look at. Like normally these things are needed in an emergency. In an emergency, the last thing you might want is keep searching, where is that button and where to go and how to navigate. So this is deliberately kept very simple. We will share the app. Anyone who wants to.
I think in the first row there's a question in the first row.
Yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gents. Very small question, sort of projected for the traffic officers. We small people face a lot of harassment because our little vehicles, rather two-wheelers, are towed away from the places which we least expect. We are the most careful. and afterwards it's either 50% sorry or 50% pay, 50% of fine. Now that means that we lose time, effort, going to the place. Of course the people are very nice there, but I think the people who are employed to do the dirty job are not the right people. Can that be improved, or we suffer always? Thank you.
Of course, you are our first priority, and things are going to change for sure. The cranes people you are talking of, we are trying to corporatize that section as well. But let me mention another thing about the bikers. Normally, the four-wheelers are fairly disciplined than the two-wheelers are. Two-wheelers and three-wheelers actually create chaos in the traffic of Mumbai. And unfortunately, we are again redesigning these things of painting or rather repainting and reposting the no parking zones so that they are more visible for the users of the road. But most of the times we see, empirically we see that the bikers are not parked at appropriate places. But surely we'll keep these things in mind to see that we cause least inconvenience to the citizens.
Thank you, sir. I mean, you pointed it right, but the people who get away with it always get away with it. But we, the disciplined people, are always caught. That is what I have always said.
That is what this campaign is for. We are, through this campaign again, we are trying to reach out to people to obey laws voluntarily. Let not traffic police enforce them. Let us obey the traffic laws voluntarily. Let us create a good traffic culture.
I think right there in the third last row, I have a question there.
Why these buses are not employed in Bombay, PRT, high-speed buses, which is there in Ahmedabad and in Delhi. But why it is not enforced in Bombay, where we have a large population and things, I've seen a film also regarding this. It is lying in the depot for the last 5-10 years.
BRTS is an improved version of what we call as a dedicated bus lane. We are certainly working on initiating at least on some of the roads which have adequate width, dedicated bus lanes. That is, the MMRD has been tasked to actually take up those 3-4 pilot project roads. So I think very soon we should be able to get that. And I think that's the need of the hour. And very soon I think Mumbai should get dedicated bus lanes. DKC is the first where we start, but then we'll also take it up in some of the major arterial roads.
Thank you so much. I think the last question.
My question for the Mr. Arvind. What is the Ola doing for the women's safety in cab service?
Cabs have recently revamped its mobile application, and we have introduced an emergency button in the mobile application itself. This button does two very important things. One is whenever you are in a ride with Ola cabs, that button is active, and when you press that button, you can send your current location, driver name, vehicle details to 6 of your contacts which are saved in the mobile application. Apart from that, it also raises a red flag in our control room where we got to know that there is something wrong or there is something, support is needed in this vehicle. Our call center immediately checks with the driver and the customer if any support is needed. So, the emergency panic button which is now available in our app is the latest addition that we did very recently.
Thank you so much.
चीज़ जो कि कस्टमर को या ड्राइवर को या पैसेंजर्स को नहीं दिखती, वो भी उसके अंदर हो, जैसे कि हैंडलिंग सिस्टम्स हैं, स्टीयरिंग सिस्टम्स हैं, ये वो चीज़ें हैं जो कि हम टेकन फॉर ग्रांटेड लेते हैं, बट सेफ्टी में इनका एक बहुत अहम रोल है। दूसरा हमारी जिम्मेदारी है कि जब हम गाड़ियाँ डिलीवर करते हैं कस्टमर्स को, तो सारे सेफ्टी फीचर्स के बारे में उनको जानकारी दें और उनको जागरूक करें कि ये सेफ्टी सिस्टम्स को यूज़ करें, जैसे कि सीट बेल्ट हो या फिर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ब्रेकिंग सिस्टम हो। तो अब इनफैक्ट आपको जान के खुशी होगी कि करीब 60 से 70% गाड़ियाँ ABS के साथ बनती हैं, जो कि 9th जनरेशन ABS है, जो गाड़ी आपके सामने खड़ी है। सो कस्टमर को हम जागरूक कर रहे हैं, अपनी गाड़ी में ज़्यादा फीचर्स दे रहे हैं सेफ्टी के, और लोग उसको
Thank you so much. Can we have a last 2 questions, please?
जी, यही कोशिश है कि ये बात जितने लोगों तक पहुँचे उसमें हम मदद करें। मैं उनमें से हूँ जो खुद ट्रैफिक रूल्स हो या हर जो रूल हो उसे फॉलो करने की कोशिश करता हूँ, करता ही हूँ। तो बेसिकली आप तक ये आवाज़ पहुँचाने और आप लोगों की आवाज़ शायद बाकी शहर को और देश तक पहुँचे, तो ऐसे इनिशिएटिव में का हिस्सा लेना बहुत ही ज़रूरी है हम सब के लिए। और आई थिंक अवेयरनेस स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम होम ओनली।
सुनील जी, आपसे जानना चाहूँगा, हाल फिलहाल बॉलीवुड सेलिब्रिटीज ऐसे कंट्रोवर्सीज में इन्वॉल्व रहते हैं, तो उस तरह से कितना इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है यूथ पर? क्योंकि देखते हैं एक्टर्स इन्वॉल्व होते हैं रोड एक्सीडेंट्स में, सलमान हो, जॉन इब्राहिम हो, तो यूथ पे कितना इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है?
यूथ पे हर एक्सीडेंट का इम्पैक्ट होता है। और देखिए, आप भी यही 2 केसेस ले रहे हैं क्योंकि ये शायद फ्रॉम मीडिया पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू बहुत ही इसके बारे में कहा गया है, लेकिन बहुत सारे ऐसे एक्सीडेंट्स हुए, लॉट ऑफ एक्सीडेंट्स हैव टेकन प्लेस ऑल ओवर ड्यू टू probably rash driving or negligence on the part of the drivers or the people concerned. And I think that's why this initiative begins with, talking about being street smart and being about being street safe, which means if it's an Ola cab, they're talking about drunken driving. If they're talking about drunken driving, they're talking about you hiring their cabs and their drivers, ensuring safety. So I think if we all realize the difference between the right and wrong that we're doing, it will make a big difference. Zebra crossings, following, not crossing the line even when we are driving, for allowing the pedestrians to cross across. They're small things but make a big difference. No honking, where the silent zones are. So I think all these things, if we are aware of, like I said, we are smart, but we are not using that to channelize it in the right way. And hopefully this initiative will help do that, bring about the awareness. Change can't happen overnight. So if schools get involved in this initiative also, it's tomorrow's drivers who will make a big difference. And the ones who are responsible for the wheel today, trying and making an attempt to do that.
Thank you. I think in the 4th row there's a question here.
देखिए, फॉर्चुनेटली नहीं, कभी नहीं, मुझे टिकट कभी मिला ही नहीं, और जेन्युइनली नहीं मिला कि मैं बिलीव ही नहीं करता फास्ट ड्राइविंग में, मैं बिलीव ही नहीं करता रूल्स तोड़ने में। और कभी कभार ड्राइवरों से मिस्टेक हो जाती है। पिछला अगर एक्सीडेंट कहीं हुआ था तो शायद मेरे गाड़ी का BST के एक बस के साथ हुआ था, लेकिन मेरा ड्राइवर का कहना था कि वो सही रास्ते पे था और BST का ड्राइवर गलत था। अभी दोनों के बीच में ना मैं गाड़ी में बैठा था, तो अभी केस चलेगा। तो जब उसका रिजल्ट आएगा तब मैं बता पाऊंगा कि कौन गलत था और कौन सही था। बेसिकली आबादी भी इतनी है, लोग भी इतने हैं कि हर एक चीज़ को इसमें इन्वॉल्व होना पड़ता है। लेकिन पर्सनली मैं गाड़ी को चलाता भी नहीं, ये नहीं कि गाड़ी चलाना नहीं आता, बट आई प्रेफर ड्राइविंग, क्योंकि मैं सोचता बहुत ज़्यादा, और सोच और गाड़ी चलाना साथ में होता है।
Just one last question, one last.
अभी देखिए, इसलिए मैंने सोचा कि शुरुआत स्क्रीन से पहले इस इनिशिएटिव से करूँ, कुछ बदलाव ना हो, फिर स्क्रीन तक पहुँचूँ।
Thank you so much.
So my question is to Mr. Chetty. What are the security measures where the security cameras are concerned at the traffic junctions? So security measures क्या लिए गए हैं जो कैमरास जो ट्रैफिक जंक्शंस पे होते हैं उसके लिए?
Security features.
Security cameras.
Yeah.
जो ट्रैफिक जंक्शन में बहुत जरूरी है, उसके लिए क्या मेजर्स रहेंगे?
At present, we have got 229 CCTV cameras in the city, but shortly the work is already on for installation of 6,000 cameras across the city. So Mumbai is the first city of its kind where cameras in such a huge number would be installed in the coming couple of years. So after those couple of years, once the installation is done, the enforcement of traffic rules and regulations would be much stricter by Mumbai traffic police.
In addition to that, we will also have high security RFID number plates, so that a violator of the law, when he crosses those, the camera catches it, and there is no need for manning of those areas. So we should be able to actually reach out to the defaulters and the delinquents faster.
मेरा सवाल सुनील शेट्टी जी से। जैसे अभी आपको सबसे पहले तो आपको बधाई कि ब्रांड एम्बेसडर बनाया गया इसमें, और जैसे कहा जाता है कि मुंबई ट्रैफिक पुलिस हमेशा घटना होने के बाद पहुंचती है, और ये यहाँ देखा गया कि जॉइंट सीपीजी इस कार्यक्रम में सब आ गए थे, जॉइंट सीपीजी लेट आए, तो क्या कहना चाहेंगे ये इस ऐसे उसको ऐसे?
देखिए, हर काम मुंबई पुलिस का नहीं होता है, हमारी भी कोई जिम्मेदारी होती है। अगर एक्सीडेंट हो और हम बाहर निकले और उनकी मदद करें, तो आई थिंक यही तो ये इनिशिएटिव है। सिर्फ जॉइंट सीपीजी नहीं बैठे हुए हैं यहाँ पर, अलग कॉर्पोरेट हेड्स बैठे हैं, अलग लोग बैठे हैं जो साथ मिलके ये इनिशिएटिव आगे बढ़ाना चाहते हैं। तो आई थिंक ये बहुत बड़ी बात है, जहाँ हम सबको आगे बढ़कर, अगर इस इनिशिएटिव को सक्सेसफुल करना है तो सबको आगे बढ़कर करना पड़ेगा, वरना तो 6 जन बैठे रहेंगे या 10 जन जो डाइस पे बैठे हैं उन्हें आगे बढ़कर करना पड़ेगा। इसलिए तो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रहा है, ताकि ये मैसेज जो है सारे मुंबई तक पहुँचे। तो आई थिंक, और इंडिविजुअली कभी लेट आना, कभी जल्दी आना, कहीं काम में अच्छे काम आपके काम के लिए कहीं फंसे होंगे, और उन्होंने कभी ये नहीं कहा कि मेरे आने से पहले आप लोग इस कार्यक्रम को इसकी शुरुआत नहीं कर सकते। शुरुआत की हमने, हम वो चुपचाप जाके वहाँ बैठे, जब बुलाया गया तो यहाँ आए। तो ये या तो आधा भरा हुआ है, आधा खाली, आपके नजरिए के ऊपर।